Hello, and welcome to another Friday Night Scary Stories. If you have a story plot you'd like to share, please leave it in the comments or get me on Messenger. If you like this content, there'll be links to other stories in the description box below. Now, without further ado, let's get to tonight's story. Tonight's story is based on true events, and it was submitted to BuzzFeed by Stella. It's not a cat. Stella lives in a rural pocket of nowhere, the kind of place where night falls thick and heavy, where the trees press close, and even the wind sounds like breathing. Feral cats have claimed the neighborhood, dozens of them, half wild things with eyes that glint like wet coins in the dark. I feed them, out of pity maybe or guilt. I tell myself it's kindness. Last spring, sometime around 2 in the morning, I woke up to use the bathroom. The bathroom window overlooks the deck where I leave the food for the cats. There's no reason to look, but something, a flicker, a sound, pulled my eyes towards the window. Something was moving at the bowls. At first I thought it was one of those big tomcats or a raccoon maybe, but it was just too big. The light from the garage caught on it, a slouched human shape with limbs that can only belong to a human. With the most skin-crawling sense of horror, I realized it was a human man, crouched on all fours, eating cat food out of the bowl with his mouth, not using his hands. He was on all fours, just his face pressed into the bowl. The sound was wet and slow, a kind of smacking and scraping that made my stomach turn. He wasn't wearing shoes. His feet were bare against the deck boards, pale and still as bone. I whispered a yell for my husband. Noticing the urgency in my voice, he jumped out of bed and came to the window. And I saw the moment it hit him, too. The way his mouth twitched before the words came out. Call 911. There's a man on our deck. I called 911, and whispering, I told them there's a man on our deck. The police officer asked what he was doing. I said, he's eating the cat food, but not with his hands, just with his mouth. There was a pause, and then he said, we'll send a car right over. My husband went downstairs for a bat, and I stayed upstairs. I just couldn't look away from the window. The man, or whatever it was, had gone still. The longer I stared, the less sure I was that he was crouching at all. His limbs were bent strangely. I couldn't tell where his hands ended, or even if he had any. The light seemed to slide off of him. Then, as the first sweep of headlights touched the trees, he rose, not stood, rose, as if the air itself lifted him upright. He turned his head towards me, and I saw what was under the hood. It wasn't a face, or it didn't look like one. It was worn flat, smooth, except for the holes where the mouth and eyes should be. I must have made a sound because my husband came running back, and by the time he reached the window, he was gone. The police found nothing either. No footprints at this time, not even in the dew. But that night, after they left, I went out to the deck. The bowls were licked clean, bone dry. Around them in the wood grain were small scratches, dozens of them, the kind cats leave when they need their paws. Only difference, they were in sets of 5, long, thin, and deep. I still feed the cats. I can't stop. They gather every night waiting. And sometimes when I look down from the bathroom window, I see more shapes other than cats. Some are low to the ground, some not quite crouched all the way, all of them still staring up into the dark. I'm petrified to this day to look out the bathroom window in the middle of the night. Now we have cameras, and we're going to see if we can catch whatever this is on video. Thanks for watching another Friday night spooky campfire story. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'll leave a link for last week's story in the description below. If you like this kind of stuff, there's also a playlist of all the Friday night stories. We'll see you again next week.